I got a license of $19 Copilot subscription and I burned all the quota in 5 working days. The problem was that there was still 15 working days until the end of the month, so that was very painful. If you stay with me until the end of this video, I will show you some math and statistics that will help you to make a decision on which subscription should you buy. As a lead developer and also solution architect, I've learned one thing: the final price on the invoice doesn't matter. The most important thing is how many new features you can develop, how many story points you can burn, or how many new lines of code you can write. Let me tell you my story. Last month, as a team, we decided to start fresh. It was the beginning of the month. My decision was to rely on Copilot and make use of my knowledge and experience with AI and agentic engineering. So I started to use Copilot with my best practices that I develop on my private projects. And you know what? After 5 working days, I've burned all 300 premium requests that I got from the Copilot license for $19. I had to finish the iteration because our sprint had 10 working days, 2 weeks, and that was not even the end of the first week. I had to make a decision. Should I write code by hand or should I rely on the other tool? And that was the moment when Claude Code was in play. It was really nice to use it. I was able to deliver much more because my capacity was 18 story points, but I delivered 60. Using both tools, Copilot and Claude Code together, gave me some numbers and statistics that I would like to share with you. When I was using Copilot license, my velocity was 472 story points per day. When I switched to Claude Code, my velocity was 785 story points per day. And you know what? That's not the end, because the new sprint was already planned and there was still 10 working days until the end of the month. So when you will look again on those numbers, you will find out that it doesn't cost you $19. It costs you the progress and the sprint. I don't know if the same happened for you. If yes, I can feel your pain. After summarizing that iteration, my team decided to explore more if there is a chance to move to Claude Code and also to find out if there are any possibilities. I have a very unusual situation in my family because I'm not the only one developer. I have 4 more software engineers and I know their situation. They cannot use AI tools freely because it has been already decided that they have to stick to Microsoft Copilot or Amazon Kiro. And that's actually very typical for very big companies. They have a partnership with Microsoft, so it's easier to rely on a trustful partner. And if you take a look on the market data, Pragmatic Engineered delivered really nice information. Companies that hire over 10,000 employees, the share of Copilot is 56%, but for startups, Copilot is only 9% and Claude Code is 75%. So this tells a lot. And let me tell you one story more. I have a friend. She works for a small company. She asked her boss to buy Claude Code license and she got the license on the same day. For bigger companies, it's much more difficult to make a decision where the investment should go, especially that and this shift is happening so fast that something that was on the top, now it's behind. There is one more thing that I would like to share with you. Let me show you Copilot. There are some rates. If you would like to use anthropic models, for example, Sonnet or Opus, multipliers and rates are higher. So for example, model Sonnet 4.6, the rate is 1x. But if you take a look on Opus 4.6, it's not 1x anymore, it's 3x. And if you would like to use the latest model, Opus 4.7, then the rate is 15. So it means that if you will use only Opus model and you have 300 premium requests out of the $19 Copilot license, then in reality you have only 20 requests for Anthropic model, which is Opus 4.7. And there's one more thing. You already know that there is monthly limit of premium requests for Copilot license, but for Claude Code it's different. You have 5 hours Windows limit, and you also have weekly limit that restarts after 1 week. So to summary, for Copilots, request will restart it at the end of the month. For Claude Code, it will be at the end of the week. And you have to know that I use Claude Code license X5. It's a max subscription. That one might be costly because it's $100. And for some companies, it might be a very difficult decision to make. Should we buy $100 license for everyone in our company? And sometimes $90 license might make sense. If you will take a look on the Stack Overflow survey from 2025, you will find out that only 31% of engineers were using agents and 35 were not even considering to make use of them. The same might be in the company. There is plenty of people that don't know what is AI engineering, they don't have any experience on that, and they don't do any practice. It doesn't make sense to buy the license for $100 if they cannot even use the one that costs $19. And I know a team that there is 30 AI engineers and only 20 to 25% of them can reach the monthly limit for Copilot. And there's another thing that is worth to be considered, another factor, because if you have technical debt inside of your code, you won't be able to make use a full power of AI engineering, and then probably the lower cost for license might be the best for you. And one more thing, Microsoft has a long-term pattern on catching up late. For example, they introduced plan mode inside of Visual Studio Code Copilot in early 2026. And their CLI tool, Copilot CLI, was delivered in February 2026, where Claude Code was released in May 2025. So, to answer the final question, is it worth to buy $100 license? Yes, I think it's worth it. It's worth to buy it, it's worth to buy for your team, it's worth to convince your manager to do it for you. And if you won't get the license from your employer or company, I think it's worth to buy it for your private use. It's an investment in you. And if you would like to check how I developed 48 story points with 16 story point capacity using the right approach, tools and AI engineering, check video over here. Hope to see you on the next video where I will cover which license of Claude Code should you buy. This is the Engineering Shift.